Hello there, this is James from the year 1978, and originally the plan this Halloween was to wrap up a trio of reviews with my take on The Hunt, a film about so-called limousine liberals hunting Trump voters for sport, the release of which was postponed for months because Trump doesn't know what words mean, and rage-tweeted about the movie, causing a massive controversy over what people on each side of an increasingly polarised America assumed they might find offensive. Of course, the film did eventually come out, and at least according to Movie Mob, none of it mattered regardless, because the creators pulled the Jordan Peele, abandoning the point, moral and message of the movie at the end by having the super soldier who the limousine liberals kidnapped by accident be an apolitical non-voter. But even after hearing the guy who wanted me to review it go on a self-poning centrist rant about his perception of that movie, which made me even more determined to never watch it for as long as I draw breath, I honestly have more to say about The Hunt, which once again I've never even seen, than I do about the substitute film that he commissioned me to review a little too late for Halloween, specifically Trick or Treat, a somewhat competently put together, if you ignore one glaring plot hole, but utterly meaningless and forgettable anthology of four somewhat interconnected Halloween stories that are so weak, so tepid, so banal, and have such pointless and cliched twists and or revelations that I can't even summon the energy to dislike it all that much. Because wait, if he was beheaded and the head was taken down to the basement before the rest of the body was buried, then how was he still alive and struggling in the grave? And in one of the other stories as well, why are they werewolves? Wouldn't vampires have made more sense? Oh, I see. Transforming into werewolves merely looks more impressive in terms of special effects. And oh yeah, back when we thought that they were just horny sluts looking for Halloween one-night stands, and the context of their conversation was entirely sexual, that one line about not caring that the sailor that she had was female because the woman had a nice arse and, quote, it all tastes the same to me anyway, that's only an interesting and clever double entendre to pedantic nerds who insist that American Horror Story has a deep and profound message and moral if they eat human flesh rather than simply drinking our blood. But wait, why back when we thought that they were talking about sex did that one supposedly virgin werewolf talk about wanting her first time to be special? But even if you are able to turn off your brain and stop asking questions, all of the ever so clever connections between the cliched and trope-ridden stories in this anthology are so technical and superficial, and the stories themselves are so formulaic that it honestly feels as if they weren't written at all, but rather constructed by a computer algorithm that had been programmed to condense 1,000 horror films into an anthology with no deeper understanding, meaning, moral insight, or subtext of any kind. And while Fantasy Island, the first film that I reviewed for this Halloween links down as your underbar, was at least moderately entertaining, or rather slightly distracting in its cliched and trope-ridden stupidity, this movie just isn't any fun to watch, either sincerely or ironically, and I honestly can't think of any reason to ever recommend it to anyone. In fact, I genuinely wish that the movie was worse and that there was something for me to hate about it, because at least then I'd have something to say.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!